Especially I would like to talk about the innovations and how innovations in Germany are undertaken. And it's a very broad field, and but it's a very interesting topic. But first I would like to thank you one more time for the very good meetings yesterday, for the very extraordinary hospitality, and the very interesting topics that we are about to discuss. To my person, my name is Florian Moerger. I'm 31 years old, and I'm an economist, so no technician. And so please let me give you some information about these topics. I would like to start very quickly with a short overview of the services that our company offers, and then I would like to get into the deeper material in terms of energy transition. What does it mean? It's a very, very important topic for Germany, and a very fundamental change in the energy supply system. Afterwards, I would like to talk a bit about the financing instruments that we are using to undertake this transition. And then I would like to come to the support structures, because it's very important to support the financial scheme with advice and different organizations that do so. But there's a very important question I would like to start with, and that is the big question: why are we doing innovations in Germany, and why are we planning this energy transition? Because there's a very good reason for that. Okay, very quick, our company is called Energy Engineers. We belong to the group. This is a very large inspection corporation in Germany, usually working in the industries sector, testing machinery and doing certification. Our company in particular offers consulting services for public institutions, for municipalities and for ministries. We are developing climate protection plans and strategies for the use of renewable energy sources and the increase of energy efficiency. For our industry customers, we are undertaking technical feasibility studies, and also we are developing plans for energy efficiency measures in industry, and we help them to carry them out. Okay, let's start with a very important question in Germany: the why. Why are we undertaking these large actions to move away from the former energy supply based on coal, oil, and natural gas? As you can see here in the slides, Germany pays a very high amount for imports of energy every year. So unfortunately, we are not blessed with such large natural resources. So we have a little bit of lignite, a little bit of hard coal, but this hard coal issue will be done in 2018, because then in Germany they stop to exploit these resources. And we also do not have any oil or natural gas just to do it. So we have a very, very large energy bill every year. And in order to be a little bit more independent from these imports, we have to come up with a solution. So if the price is rising on the world markets, the bill is rising as well. And currently we are approximately paying 100 billion euros a year for the import of oil and gas. So how could we manage to start with an energy transition, and how could the society, the industry, and all the stakeholders be obliged to do so? The first step was that the government set up very ambitious political targets. So this is a political framework that all these actions are included in. And so the government came up with the idea to reduce the greenhouse gases, to increase the renewable energies, and to increase the energy efficiency. And you see here in this slide, it is pretty ambitious. There are several milestones and steps in between. For example, the greenhouse gas emission should be decreasing by 80 to 95% until 2050. And as you can see, the electricity generation should be based on renewable energy sources of about 80% by then. So this is a major change of the energy supply system, and but these are the political targets. So how are we proceeding currently? As you can see from 2013, the results are pretty good so far. It's the forecast for 2014. As you can see over there, we reduced the greenhouse gas emissions about 24% compared to 1990. It is a pretty good intermediate step, but it's still a long way to go. Yeah, how is the renewable energy share among the electricity production currently? As you can see, we have about 25% of renewable energy sources in the electricity sector. Currently, I think it's 27 or 28 by now. It's increased a little bit. But until 2050, it's still a long way to go. So the energy efficiency, this is also very important. And here you can see we are also on the energy efficiency issue working. We are in a pretty good way. But until 2020 and 2050, it's a long way to go, and all the addressed sectors like buildings, traffic, and industry have to do their work and their work in order to reach the political goals. So, what is the interim result? That we have undertaken a lot of actions to reach the political targets and to reach the intermediate step of 2020. But if we are doing as we did the last few years, if we are ongoing with the same effort and with the same technologies, we will probably fail to reach the milestone in 2020, and therefore we have to come up with measures in order to improve our actions. So the turnaround is possible majorly by two things. The first one is research and development. So we come up with very innovative solutions and new technologies and more efficient technologies. Then we have better chances to reach the targets. So this is a very, very important sector for us. And the second one is the support structures. So whenever you have research in place, it's very important, but you also have to have support structures in order to use the results generated in the research sector, and you have to transfer them to the market. As we heard in the discussion earlier today, it's very important to include all the stakeholders at the very beginning, that the researchers know what the market demand is about, and that they can work together somehow. Okay, now I would like to come to the financing instruments. So research is a very, very costly action, and so there are several instruments in place in Germany to address the different types of research and different types of businesses, because it's very important to have tailor-made instruments in place. But first I would like to give you a very short overview about the expenditures that several countries spend on research and development. So as you can see, for example, we in Germany spend about 2.7% of our annual GDP for research. And this is done by several different sources. So it's the major funding source is the industry, but also the government has a high share. And the idea behind this type of share is that the government gives some money to the research institutes or to the different instruments, and then the industry has to co-fund these activities. So it's not foreseen that the government undertakes all the funding by by themselves, but the industry has also to contribute somehow. So it's a kind of a leverage effect that the government spends some money on research, and then the industry has to co-fund each funded euro by 2 or 3 euros by itself. So it's a very good instrument to acquire industry funds as well. Unfortunately, we did not get the figures for Georgia, but I read in the country report that was prepared for the meeting that the expenditures for research and development by the government is around 1%, a little less maybe. And we also heard this morning that the industry in Georgia is not spending any money in the field of research, and so this could be a very good point to discuss. So you see in Germany it's a share of 1 to 3 or 1 to 2.5 among the government and industry share of research and expenditures. But it's a problem that these money a lot of times goes to very large corporations and to certain sectors. For example, the automotive industry and chemical industry are spending a lot of money for research, but in the field of energy, it's not that much money, and also it's very important to support the small and medium-sized companies and spin-offs from universities, because usually these startup companies are way more innovative than the larger corporations who are working in their daily business for several decades already. And so we have to come up with instruments, especially to support young businesses. Okay. We, from our understanding, divided the innovation process, the path to innovation, in 3 major phases. Starting out with the research as such on the very left-hand side. So the basic research is going on in the laboratory and the technical development. Whenever you generate research results, you have to demonstrate them and you have to do pilot actions. So it's a very long way from the research, from the lab to the market, and this is the second phase, and this is where lots of problems occur, but there are some ideas to solve them. And then in the third phase there's the market, and you have to make a strategy for the rollout and for the diffusion of different applications. So how can the funding of these stages be undertaken? This could be like this. This is an example how the several instruments they use in Germany are fitting together. We have research funding, we have support for established businesses who are working already in the field. We have funding for innovative startup companies. We have project-based funding, and also very new instruments like crowdfunding. Okay, the research funding, for example, is undertaken by 3 different sources. You see here that the European Commission and also the federal government and federal states in Germany are spending quite a bit of money in the field of energy research. This amount of money is dedicated to the renewable energy sources and energy efficiency applications. But unfortunately, we do not have the share about the public funding and the amount of money that the industry gives to the energy sector. But we assume it's around 50-50%, so that we conclude that there are roughly 1.8 billion euros a year in the energy research in Germany. So for established businesses, we have another instrument. It's called the Innovation Program for ERP. And this is very unique because it's the eligibility criteria says that the innovation for the client company only has to be innovative innovative for the company. It does not have to necessarily be an innovation for the sector. And so already long-time operating companies have the possibilities to improve their daily work and to get funds for that. Okay, the funding system for the innovative startup companies and small and medium-sized companies is different. Here you can see that every year in Germany there are about 14,000 new businesses established in the high-tech sector. And so there's a lot of potential that we would like to use in future times. A bit more as we used to in the past. So how are we undertaking the funding of new companies? There's a high-tech founder fund in place, and this is a source of money coming from the government, also from large banks like the KfW Bank, and also from major German industry companies. So all this money goes into a fund, it's managed, and then it's used as venture capital for new businesses. And so the fund gets shares of the company and supports them in this way. There are other instruments for supporting startups, the Exist program, and this especially is dedicated to spin-off companies and university-based research activities. So it's directly supporting scientists, graduates and students with different focus areas. You have scholarships, you have the remuneration of operating costs in place, and there are different options to get the scientists directly into the area of entrepreneurs and make them start their own business. The third one is in place, which is supporting startup companies, and this is a different approach. Here it's not just about the money for supporting small and medium-sized enterprises. Here you also have different stages, so they call it the four-stage coaching and development process. So this instrument more focuses on remuneration of office space. They reimburse the rent, and then they give you coaching and also networking. And this is very important because when you start a business and you are very good in your research area, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have the ability to start and to manage a business. And so this instrument focuses on these difficulties and tries to give the new entrepreneurs knowledge about how to manage a business, how to grow a business, how to set up a business, and also the necessary network to do so. So this is a very unique instrument, and it's pretty necessary. Okay, after we left the innovation process, now we're in the market phase. And so I said it's a project-based funding for innovation technologies, and that means that whenever you start implementing new technologies, then you have the chance of get funding in this place. And for example, we have the renewable energy law in place, the ener2i in Germany, and this law gives you the possibility whenever you, for example, set up a PV system or a wind turbine, and you get a fixed feed-in tariff for example 20 years, and then you can also make some profit out of the project. So the government reaches the goal of increasing the share of renewable energies in this particular action, and the undertaking entity or the corporation or whoever sets up the energy system, he gets a profit out of the system after a certain time when he reaches the break-even. And so it's a win-win situation for both parties in this place. And also whenever you set up a renewable energy system, the grid operator has the obligation to connect your system, and everything is backed by a legal framework and shouldn't have Okay, the last source of funding in this place is the crowd investing, and this is done completely without government money. This is completely private money, and usually done by private actors doing via the internet. There are certain internet platforms in place where you can pay some money, and then you fund a very innovative project, and then you earn interest rate on this. And this sector is growing in Germany lately, and so in the last 18 months they invested over 23 million euros of private capital in this. So now we have seen how monetary support could look like in Germany for the different stages of innovative projects. And now I'd like to put the focus on these support structures, because whenever you try to set up an innovative business, whenever you want to implement an energy project, you have to have somebody who gives you advice and who counsels you on the way towards the project implementation. And in order to do so, our state, ener2i, where our company is located in Germany, has undertaken large actions to set up a support structure. You can see here is ener2i, this is where it's located in Germany. And the interesting fact about this state is that it's very high, that is producing very high greenhouse gas emissions. As you can see here, it's we are almost as much greenhouse gas emitting as Spain, only our state in Germany, one of the 16 federal states. And on the very left-hand side, you can see the total amount of Germany. And so, especially our state had to come up with a strategy and with actions to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions in order to reach the government goals for 2020 and 2050. So what has the state undertaken in this place? The ener2i state was the first state in entire Germany that set up a climate protection law. They set up binding targets, and so now within the state, several stakeholders have to take action in order to reach this goal. But the state also said the stakeholders can't act on their own. They have to have a structure, or they have to have somebody in place that helps them to do so. And this is, for example, the energy agency called ener2i of ener2i. And this independent and non-commercial platform helps all the stakeholders to undertake their actions. They deal with all kinds of energy issues, and they do it on behalf of the state government. As you can see, the agency is fully financed by the government. We have a budget of roughly 17 million euros a year, and the agency employs 120 people. So it's a quite large agency for supporting renewable energies and energy efficiency. And again, how is the energy agency operating? We have structured it in 3 different phases again, so that there's a particular instrument for each phase to help the stakeholders to undertake the actions and to overcome the hurdles and to do all the work that is necessary. For example, the cluster of energy research starts in the research phase, and it's bringing together all the research institutes, and they are working on long-term research topics such as the central and decentralized energy conversion for different technologies. And also the socio-economic research is undertaken because we've seen in Germany that changes in the energy supply always goes along with major effects for the society, and so these effects are also evaluated in this cluster. There are different aims and topics about the energy industry and strengthening the structure and so on, and said already. And this is one project example for the production of PV panels for aiming at cost reduction with the laser laser producing technology. This is one example of their work. So the second phase, as I said, the innovation project has to use the research results and have to convert them into the market. And so this is a very long way. It has lots of potential to fail on this way. So this is a very important step, because whenever technology is not ready and you start to promote them and fail, then the technology is burned for a very long time, and the actions and the research that is undertaken in this field has a very hard standard in this case. So this is a very important step in this second phase. And there are several topics that are covered by the energy region, the cluster for the energy in this case. And for example, it's wind power and photovoltaics and fuel cells and so on. There are different technologies that are all covered by this cluster. So the focus of this cluster goes in that direction, that the results have to be commercialized and have to be demonstrated in demonstration projects, and applications have to be built and have to be tested so that the technology is proven and one day it will be market ready. So this is the major aims and actions of this cluster, bringing together all the major parts from the research, from politicians to set up the legal framework, and also from the industry, so they have together all the relevant stakeholders at the very beginning, and they can organize a political framework, like the technologies and applications later on, have a law and they have security of planning for the production companies and so on, that the researchers know how their results are going to be commercialized, and the industry, that they know what they can do, they know their abilities, they know the legal framework, and they can start at a very early stage with promoting pilot actions and to develop prototypes, and that all the stakeholders come together and do the work jointly, that the results in the end will be very promising. But this is an example for the energy region. This is the model region Rhein-Ruhr. It's in German, it's Modellregion Rhein-Ruhr. It's a model region to demonstrate electromobility, and it's funded by the federal government and also by the industry. As you can see on the figures, the total subsidies in the first phase of the 21 million by the government, and the overall budget was 43, so it was a share of about 50%. And within this project, new hydrogen or new hybrid buses that have been tested, and lots of electric vehicles in NRW have been introduced to consumers, to companies. They have tested captive fleets for companies, for delivery companies. They've tested electromobility among students in universities. They have tested car sharing systems and so on. So all these different applications in the field of electromobility was tested, and this is a very successful project. And as the second phase, it's still ongoing, and the third phase is planned. So this is a best practice example in this case, how the industry, how the legal framework, the government, and all the researchers, and also the consumers in the end work together to generate very promising results. Okay, whenever we have undertaken the commercialization of the projects, we have used the research results, and now we are about to enter the market. Then we have another activities to undertake. So we have prototypes, we have proven prototypes, and now we have to set up the production. And whenever we produce the goods and then the materials, we have to sell them. And so it's very important in the last stage that all the potential customers and also municipalities and industry and consumers have marketing campaigns for their needs, and also they have to be informed about the technology. So you have to have communication campaigns for the special technologies. You have to do awareness campaigns for industry. For example, if you tell tell the industry, improve your energy efficiency, you can save money on your energy bill. And they didn't know about that before, so this energy agency is undertaking this kind of activities. And they're also giving advice to municipalities in terms of climate protection and renewable energies. And for example, they also give advice to consumers for different technologies that they can use maybe to refurbish their home and to make it more energy efficient. And therefore I have some examples prepared. There's support for market penetration. The agency has a large network, and it's collaborating with many universities, companies, SMEs, and so on. And as I said already, its major tasks are communication activities, awareness raising campaigns, but they also do financial advice whenever a company wants to improve the production. For example, they search for funding programs and give advice how the company could raise some extra money to get a little bit relief on the monetary side. And also education and training is very important for maybe public authorities and people in the municipalities want to deal with energy issues and they don't have experts in the municipality. Then the energy agency is undertaking training classes to give them some advice and to give them the tools at hand that they can start working with energy issues in the local and regional level. And also here I prepared a project example. This is called the heat pump marketplace. The heat pumps are installations usually used in buildings to heat up the building. It's a very popular technology in Germany currently, and it uses the geothermal energy. And here the energy agency sets up a marketplace. It's a communication campaign, and on this marketplace they bring together the producers of the technology, the heat pump producers and the components. They bring together the architects who set up the plans to install such a device in a building. They bring together the installation and construction companies that will install the devices, and they also bring together the customers. It's all done on one marketplace, so the technology is promoted towards the customers. The customer can get advice at the energy agency on a very individual and individual base, and they get advice not pushed in a certain direction or towards a certain producer. It's a very neutral advice, but also there are certified companies present on the marketplace that can directly sell products. So it's a very good and successful example how this transfer from ready technology into the market, into the customers' homes can be undertaken. And as you can see the figures, the installed heat pumps in Germany are currently rising, and the forecast until 2030 looks very promising. So now I'm about to finish my presentation, and I prepared some lessons learned. So let's start with the slides. I'd like to summarize it a little bit. So in Germany we have a problem that we don't have any resources, so we have to come up with solutions in order to be more independent from foreign resources and to save a lot of money on our energy bill. Then we thought about how can we undertake this large exercise, and we came up with the idea that a political framework has to be established so that there's a need to do some actions for everybody in the country. So we set up the political targets. In the next step we thought about the financial instruments, because just setting up political targets doesn't mean anything, so we have to have some stimulation for the research and for the activities. So we set up the financing mechanisms, and then we all back these actions by these support structures in order to assist the people for the research, assist the people for the market preparation of technology and assist the companies and the consumers in the end how to sell the products or how to buy a useful product for the household. And then the lessons learned for the financial instruments, like to start, we have not one really instrument that fits to all the needs in Germany. So we have seen there are research institutes, there are established businesses, there are startup companies, there are projects undertaken maybe by private entities. And so we have to come up with a very differentiated support scheme, technology open, niche programs for different stakeholders, because there's not one financing scheme that fits to all the demands in the country. So you have to look in the details and to tailor the funding instruments that are useful. And also this approach is very helpful in order to avoid pitfalls, because if you dedicate all the money to a certain technology or in a different type of research, and in the end there's another standard that's coming to the market, and all the money is lost for the useless research, and so it's a little bit of security in order to fund different technologies, and one of them will be the blockchain. And the second step, the support structures are also very important. We are working very successfully in ener2i with our energy agency. Its major argument for the agency is the independency. So it's funded by state money. It's not coming from a large corporation or so. It's very independent, and this is a success factor. And so our government saw that as well, and they extended our contract for 6 more years. Okay. Now I'm about to end with the presentation, and I would like to answer your questions. Thank you very much.